Okay, let's do some more practice problems with horizontally launched projectiles. Number one here says a bullet is fired horizontally from a gun, and we also need to know that this bullet is fired from a height of 6 meters. Fired from a height of 6 meters from a gun with a muzzle velocity of 600 meters per second. I want to know the horizontal range of the gun. I didn't do this before, but the first thing I suggest you do in these problems is to go through and label what you're given and what you need. This 6 meters, well, that's a distance and it's in the y direction because it says height. So that's my delta dy. 600 meters per second, that's the gun that's fired horizontally. That's in the x direction and it's a velocity. Velocity in the x direction. And if I'm looking for horizontal range, hopefully you remember from the notes that range is distance in the x direction. So I'm looking for dx. Okay, so let's work it. Divide x and y. Draw my picture. 6 meters high. Gun is fired at 600 meters per second. And it's going to take a downward path. I want to know how far it goes. What's the range? Givens on the x side, Vx, dx, and time. My velocity in the x direction, I've already said, was 600 meters per second. Distance in the x, I don't know, and I don't know time as well. I know my equation is going to be Vx equals dx over t because there can never be any acceleration in the x direction. But I can't solve that yet because I have two unknowns. So I come over to the y side, ay, t, vi, vf in the y direction, and delta d. A in the y, this is a free fall, remember, is just negative 9.8. Time we don't know. Vi will be 0 always for horizontal projectiles. Vf I don't know, most of the time I won't. And delta dy is 6 and we're falling down, so that's negative 6. The equation, remember these are my two unknowns. Time is the one that I care about, and you end up with delta d equals vit plus 1/2 at squared. And remember also that this term will go away because vi is 0. Substitute and solve. Negative 6 equals 1/2 times negative 9.8 t squared. Negative 6 equals half of 9.8 is negative 4.9. Divide both sides by negative 4.9. And that gives you t squared of 1.2. And then we're going to take the square root of both sides to get t equals 1.1 seconds. And you might be tempted at this point to say, cool, we're through. But you need to be careful and read the problem and remember that the problem didn't ask for time. The problem asked for the range, dx. And the only reason why we need the time is to bring it back across to the other side and plug it in. So now we have 600 equals dx divided by 1.1, multiply both sides by 1.1, and you will get a range of 660 meters. If you do these next two problems on this sheet, you should get an initial horizontal speed, which is Vx, of 19.3 meters per second. Time is what you're looking for here. It should be 1.4 seconds. And number 3, if you do this problem, you should get how far away, which is dx, should give you 86.4 meters. And when it says how high, that's delta d in the y direction, and you should get 35.7, and it'll come out negative meters with that one.